Hello everyone, welcome to Chef Salim's detailed recipe channel. In this video, we'll take a break from recipes and talk about how to get sharp knives. Having sharp knives is crucial in any kitchen because it makes cutting more efficient and safer. Dull knives can slip and cause accidents, whereas sharp knives cut with precision and ease. I have prepared a detailed video on how to professionally hone knives or sharpen them at home in an amateur way. Here, you see a professional sharpening stone. It consists of two rotating wheels connected to a motor. This is a grinder. The grinder is commonly used in professional kitchens and by butchers because it quickly restores a knife's sharp edge. In the second stage, the knives are sharpened here. In the third stage, the knives come out perfectly sharp between these smooth cylinders. This final polish is essential for achieving a razor-sharp edge. Now let's go back to the first stage. After wetting the knives, their edges are properly opened on this wheel. The knife edge is held against the direction of the whetstone's rotation and is rubbed horizontally without pressing too hard. This technique ensures even sharpening and prevents the blade from getting damaged. I'm showing you this with a slow-motion video at 1,000 frames per second to highlight the precision required in this process. In the second stage, this rotating sandpaper sharpens the knife edge well. Rotating sandpaper provides a consistent abrasive surface that removes metal efficiently. In the third stage, the imperfections on the knife edge are completely removed between the two cylinders. The open view of these cylinders clearly shows how this process works. The pieces you see scattered around are coming off the knife. This is normal and indicates that the blade is being properly honed. Yes, these knives have become very sharp. Now I will share what I know about how to sharpen knives for those who don't have these tools. I have various materials such as a whetstone, sandpaper, a porcelain plate, newspaper, a honing rod, and cardboard. These are accessible materials that most people can find at home or in local stores. I have two knives that need sharpening. The whetstone has two sides. One is rougher and the other is smoother. The rough side is used for initial sharpening to remove large imperfections and shape the edge, while the smoother side is for fine honing. Sandpaper is used for rubbing on walls, but can also be repurposed for knife sharpening due to its abrasive surface. You can sharpen your knives with the bottom of a porcelain plate. This method is particularly handy in a pinch. I don't know if you have heard about newspaper before, but it makes the knife edge razor sharp in the final stage. This is because the ink in the newspaper contains fine abrasives. You can also use different paper, and rubbing on cardboard also sharpens the knife edge. The flat honing rod is a sharpening tool I use. It's designed to realign the edge of the knife without removing much material. I will use the whetstone in the first stage. Before using it, let's take a closer look at the whetstone. It has a very rough texture, which is ideal for grinding away dull edges. Let's wet the whetstone and wash the knives, then watch how they are rubbed. Wetting the whetstone helps to create a slurry that aids in the sharpening process. First, I rub the knife on the rough side of the stone. I rub the stone on the knife, not the knife on the stone, pressing down firmly. This technique allows for more control and even pressure distribution. While rubbing the stone on the knife, I do this by pulling down and pushing forward, not in the opposite direction, without holding the knife upside down. This ensures the edge is evenly sharpened. I apply the same process to my small knife. I will continue rubbing with the smoother side of the stone, occasionally rinsing the stone and the knife with water. This removes metal filings and keeps the surface clean. Now, I place the stone on the ground and rub the knife more gently. You can apply a technique by holding the stone in your hand this way. After rubbing with the stone, we have sandpaper. This sandpaper is used in construction to clean plaster on walls. We can take a closer look at the sandpaper. These tiny dots look like stones embedded in the paper. This abrasive surface is perfect for fine-tuning the knife edge. Now I hold the knife horizontally and rub it on the sandpaper. The sound it makes is really soothing. The sound indicates that the abrasive particles are effectively sharpening the blade. I rub the back and tip of the knife, one side and the other. Here is the knife before rubbing on the sandpaper. And this is how the knife looks after rubbing on the sandpaper. You can see that it causes significant wear on the knife edge, which is a good thing. This is what we want to achieve. A well-worn edge means the blade is becoming sharper. I apply the same process to my small knife. Now, this flat honing rod will be used to remove the imperfections on the knife edge. Let's take a closer look at how this honing rod is so effective. Yes, as you can see, there are fine lines, and on these lines there are even finer lines that look like a groove. These grooves help to realign the microscopic teeth on the knife edge. Yes, I didn't know it had such an interesting structure. While rubbing the knife on the honing rod, again, not in the opposite direction, I rub it back, holding the knife quite horizontally. This method realigns the edge without removing much material. If you want to rub the edge more, you can turn the honing rod a bit more diagonally to get more friction. This increases the honing effect and sharpens the knife further. Now we will rub the papers. Here we have thick paper and thinner newspaper. When rubbing the knife on the newspaper, I stand a bit more upright, ensuring full contact between the edge and the sharp part of the knife. The newspaper really works. The knife has become very sharp. But this is the final stage. I don't know if you can sharpen a completely dull knife just with newspaper. You need to use a stone first. The part of the porcelain plate that touches the table is also good for rubbing knives. As you can see, it has very fine roughness, and you will hear the sound it makes when rubbing the knife. This fine roughness is enough to hone the edge slightly. Taking the knife and rubbing it on the plate produces a fine sound, but you can feel it sharpening. Cutting cardboard also sharpens the knife edge. If you take a piece of cardboard and rub the knife on it, not cutting but rubbing, it sharpens the edge. The fibrous texture of the cardboard acts as a gentle abrasive. Now, let's test the knives by cutting paper. They seem pretty good. I am chopping an onion, and this chopping is done without applying any force, just with the knife's own weight. This demonstrates the knife's sharpness and efficiency. Let's cut a soft tomato. Most knives wouldn't cut this tomato, but as you can see, it slices smoothly without any snagging. This is a true test of sharpness, as tomatoes have delicate skins. The sharpness of the knives is important for us. Let's cut some frozen meat. It cuts very easily. Having a sharp knife makes our work much easier, but we need to be careful with our hands. Sharp knives can cause severe injuries if not handled properly. Yes, see you in a new video. Goodbye, dear followers. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and don't hesitate to leave comments. Your feedback is invaluable and helps us improve our content.